Kanda. Portia Gabor.
Martin.
And Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Suspension of voting primarily in Eastern and Ashanti regions over unavailability of electoral materials, among other issues that marred the district-level elections.
Accra High Court dismisses the National Communications Authority's request to be exempted from case filed by Unia TV.
Minority in Parliament urges government to cede the Saglemi housing project to the Ghana Armed Forces to meet the accommodation needs of the military.
Coming up in business news, majority of banks affected by domestic debt exchange program report profits in third quarter of the year.
On the international front, at least 250,000 people flee fighting in the Sudan state, once seen as a safe haven for those escaping the civil war. You have details of all these stories and more. Be part of the show. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts on the many stories we have for you tonight. And like the indication on the backdrop that we have for you, we're going to be having a conversation, major one, on the district level elections. And maybe Portia want to give that to us.
Exactly. And the Electoral Commission has postponed the district level elections for 20 districts in the Eastern region to Thursday, December 21. The Electoral Commission says election materials are not set for the affected districts.
Eligible voters were disappointed at electoral areas where voting had been suspended without prior notice to the electorate. The late arrival of election materials in the 13 districts where voting took place left many voters who had turned up frustrated. Voting was supposed to begin at 7 a.m., but as at 8:05, the materials for the New Jabin South district had not arrived. Security personnel made up of police, fire service and immigration were also at the polling stations ready. Many voters who turned out early to cast their votes before leaving to work were angry the process had not commenced. Some left the voting center saying they won't return.
Right, still on the same subject, in the Ashanti region, though, the district-level election in 281 electoral areas in the region has been rescheduled to Thursday, the 21st of December. The Electoral Commission is hopeful that all anomalies would have been resolved or rectified for an uninterrupted exercise in the area.
Augustus had planned to vote to choose the next assembly and unit committee members for his area, Sokoban-Dartey, before leaving for work on Tuesday. But he was left frustrated after he was told the election has been rescheduled, owing to non-readiness of some electoral materials.
I was ready to vote, but when we came, the whole thing has changed. So I'm a bit disappointed, but all the same, we are willing to vote. We have no option. We will come. If tomorrow the voting will come on, we'll come and vote.
After traveling several kilometers from Kwahoma to exercise his civic duty at Sokoban, Yao Amponsa also had to return home disappointed.
Because
I've wasted my time and fuel to ride all the way here, hoping to vote, only to be told it's been postponed. If not for the elections, I wouldn't have stepped out today.
At Asafo, there was a protest over the change of names and positions of candidates on the ballot paper.
It's quite unfortunate because we've planned very well for this election. We've had sleepless nights planning for how we're going to win this election. So when it happens like this, we don't know what next.
Several other electoral areas in the Ashanti region did not vote for different reasons. The Electoral Commission, in a statement, admitted the challenge and stated that the district-level elections in some electoral areas in the Ashanti and Eastern regions have been rescheduled to Thursday, December 21, 2023. Some candidates, however, fear that this may affect the turnout in the affected areas.
Some of the voters may not return because of distance in their work schedule. Some are even taking transport from us to return home.
Transportation every year
Aside these technical challenges, the district level election was generally smooth in most electoral areas, though the turnout were not too encouraging in some voting centers. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
And what was to be a seamless one-day exercise to elect representatives in the over 6,000 electoral areas across the country has left stakeholders questioning the preparedness of the Electoral Commission for the 2024 general elections. The Electoral Commission has rescheduled to December 21 the district elections in some electoral areas in the Ashanti and Eastern regions.
It's been characterized with a late start to voting in some polling stations, disruptions, and the biggest of them all perhaps, the total calling off of the entire exercise in some electoral areas. The build-up to the district assembly elections were sustained conversations on turnout. The Electoral Commission, though moderate in its projections, was loud on its readiness to execute a flawless process.
All our election materials and equipment required for the district level elections have been procured in sufficient quantities. Ballot papers for the DLE have also been printed and dispatched to the various regions and districts under police escort.
The assertions of Madame Jean Mensah, meanwhile, have proven further from the truth, with the Commission early Tuesday morning announcing it would have to reschedule the polls in a number of electoral areas. The EC, in its statement, indicated the suspension of the exercise in some electoral areas in Ashanti and Eastern regions. The EC blamed the suspension on technical challenges, with polls in affected areas to take place on Thursday, December 21, 2023. Outside of the two regions, there were no elections in different parts of the country, with the central region also notable. The disappointments were loud.
Even at all, they should call and tell them that, oh, maybe we are coming, or try to console the people that will come. But up to now, you've not even spoken to your people who are on the grounds.
Look at the time. I don't think we can vote today. If possible, 20% crowd we won't get it.
People have traveled from far to come and vote, and they couldn't vote. If they have to come back again, it will be a challenge for them.
The development has had some stakeholders casting doubts on the Commission's readiness for elections 2024. For the NDC in the Eastern region, the Electoral Commission must provide reasons for the challenges, a position reflective nationally, with the Director of Elections, Dr. Omani Boama, stating the Commission cannot repeat the same mistake come election 2024. So, you watching us today, have you voted? Did you vote? What was your experience like? We'll be happy if you share that with us on our various social media platforms. Let's engage the thoughts of Dr. Paul Abraham-Mensah, who is the Programs Manager at CDD and also a member of CODEO. They are an election observing body. Good evening, sir. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, my brother.
To start with, I mean, it's been a day of different stories, varied reactions, you know, to the district level elections. What would CODEO's assessment of today's exercise be?
Well, let me state that CODEO unfortunately deployed just a very limited number of observers, unlike previous elections that we go for 7,000, 5,000 to cover a bit more polling stations. This time, because of financial resources constraints, we couldn't deploy as we do. And because of that, we could not also deploy all our technology that enable us to gather our data, real-time data. So whatever I'm going to say will be the few monitoring that the staff were able to do within Accra. And as usual, and akin to district level elections over the years, you could see empty polling centers, petrol very low, and calm atmosphere across almost 20 electoral areas I was able to monitor within Accra today.
Right, and still on that though, so generally it was peaceful. How about the turnout? Was that to the expectation of an election observing group like CODEO?
Yes, yes, I can say when you pick the indicators that one will always use to assess credibility of an electoral process, you could see even though some of the polling centers opened a bit late than the 7 o'clock anticipated, there were still no queues. People were afforded the opportunity to peacefully cast their vote. There were police presence. The complements of the Electoral Commission temporary staff were available. All the polling, the voting materials were available. We did not, or I did not observe any case of failure of biometric machine. So for the preparation of the Electoral Commission, mostly, generally was good. The atmosphere was peaceful and calm and relaxed. No incidents were observed in the 20 areas I observed. Just this evening that I'm reading a police complaint of some disturbance that happened in just one polling station. But of course, if you're having an election in 6,215 electoral areas and you record just an incident in one polling station, you can say generally the election atmosphere has been peaceful.
Okay. And Doc, on the back of today's exercise, the Electoral Commission, the latter part of the day released a statement saying that they are suspending elections in 2 regions, a number of polling centers in 2 regions, Eastern and Ashanti, based on what the EC calls technical challenges. Has this statement come to CODEO's attention, and what do you make of it?
Yes, in fact, I read the statement myself, and it's unfortunate. Let me take it from 2 angles. One, I can say because it's not a general election, the announcement of results in other places will not have any impact on the conduct of elections in other areas because it's not a general election. I say that because if it were to be the parliamentary or the presidential elections, usually, if some parts of the country have the elections, and as it happens in Ghana, we announce results per polling station. What election analysts say that the results coming may have impact on elections, electoral areas that have been postponed. But this has no that effect because of it's based on district level, and the results are only announced and important for only electoral area competition. That said, there are also people who have organized and mobilized themselves, ready to deploy their agents to support them at the various polling centers. People have prepared their meals. People have invited other people from villages to come and support them. The Electoral Commission says it's going to activate these elections 3 days after. Are we going to have the same enthusiasm, the same preparations? People who have traveled from town to the villages to vote going to wait until the Thursday? There are some of the challenges that people involved in the elections will suffer.
Right. And maybe my last 2 questions, if we can be brief on that. The next would be, people are already saying if this is a test, a litmus test for the main 2024 elections, then we actually have an uphill task as a country, especially the Electoral Commission. Do you have the same opinion, or because your assessment was mainly just based in Accra, we can dismiss those worries?
Yeah, election of any type is an election. And you remember when we started using the biometric devices, we tested them in the inter-party contest, and some of the issues that we had were informed, and we were informed by the analysis that followed. Electoral Commission has managed elections severally. I don't know who is the service provider who was tasked to print those ballot papers. I understand, as one of the candidates was explaining, that the positioning of the candidates after the balloting were changed. So some of these things are important for the Electoral Commission to also evaluate its service providers, its printer, to see who will be an effective supplier in subsequent elections. I don't accept people using the district level election as a test fulfilled. It's also an important election that gives us the local legislative assembly, who are actually the people who supervise our development in the local areas. So it's also an important thing. But of course, it's a issue that come about after every election. There's an assessment. What worked well, what did not work well? Who were the service providers who gave us the challenges? Are we going to maintain them? The service providers themselves are also going to assess their machines. Okay. So it's not just using the district level election as a test case. It's assessing the electoral process to come out with prognosis as to what worked well, what did not work well, what plans are we going to adopt in the next election, whether it's an intra-party election that will come, whether it's a by-election that will come. It's important that we do assessment so as to improve upon the process going forward.
Doc, thank you so much. I'm informed that CODEO will be releasing a statement on your assessment of the election tomorrow, so hopefully we'll further this conversation when we do get that statement from CODEO. Dr. Paul Abrampah-Mensah is with CODEO and also Programs Manager of CDD.
Well, still on the district-level elections, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, after casting his ballot at Bola in the Savannah region, expressed concern over challenges encountered by the Electoral Commission. The former president urged the Electoral Commission to ensure such glitches are not repeated in the 2024 general elections.
If God smiles on us and we win the elections of 2024, we're going to take decentralization seriously. The rest of the ministries, departments and agencies that are still centralized, we're going to complete the decentralization so that we truly hand over power to the people at the local government level. Until we get our decentralization right, Ghana is not going to go anywhere. And so we're going to take it seriously. We're going to make sure that district common fund disbursements increase again from 5 to 7%, which it was in 2016, and that the district assembly's common fund is going to be regular so that districts can take, advantage of it and be able to increase the pace of their development. Assembly members carry a great responsibility, and that if I'm elected president, we will pay them an allowance. Unfortunately, I hear there are glitches in many places. It is my hope that the Electoral Commission will get its act together, because we know that national, presidential and parliamentary elections are more emotive, and if people go to the polls on 7th December 2024 and some of these glitches occur, it will lead to a lot of chaos.
All right, so still on elections, let's rewind the time a bit and go back in history. It was one of the few promises that the New Patriotic Party, while in opposition, that had a clearly fixed timeline, a promise to ensure that metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives are elected instead of appointed by the president. The party's 2016 manifesto made the following pledges, and I'm going to take you through some of them specifically. It says it will oversee the direct election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives within 24 months of election into office to coincide with the next district assembly elections in 2019. So we're taking you down memory lane to bring you what we have titled Ghana Remembers.
I've said it before and I'll repeat it. I will continue to work for an extensive national consensus on this issue. And should such a consensus be attained for the repeal of Article 55, Clause 3 of the Constitution, and an agreement reached for political parties to participate in and sponsor candidates for election to district assemblies. At any point during my remaining tenure of office as President of the Republic, the matter will be brought back again to the front burner of our public discourse for the necessary action.
All right, so that's President Akufo-Addo making that promise. Well, information we've just got indicates that the Minister for Local Government, that is Dan Botwe, will be addressing the media tomorrow, or the nation tomorrow, regarding today's exercise of the district level elections. Details of that will be in our subsequent bulletins.
Let's now continue with the rest of our stories. And the National Communication Authority's request to be exempted from a case filed by Onua TV has been dismissed by an Accra High Court. The court says the NCA must remain a part of the case in which the media house is accusing it of not following due process in its push to have Onua TV's operation license suspended.
Lawyers for the National Communications Authority had argued it ought to be exempted from the case. Its lawyers stated that the case filed by Onua TV does not state any conduct by any of its officers that makes its inclusion in the case necessary. The media organization is in court seeking to restrain the National Media Commission from taking any steps that adversely affects its operations. This suit came in the wake of the NMC asking the NCA to suspend Onua TV and Onua FM's license. Lawyers for Onua TV maintain the move is contrary to law since they were not granted a fair hearing. They also urged the court to dismiss the NCA's exemption request, insisting it had received various letters from the NMC. They also added that the NCA has the legal mandate to suspend licenses under appropriate circumstances. The High Court agreed with this view, dismissing the NCA's request. The case is back in court on January 17, 2024.
We have more news coming up shortly. Don't go away.
From now to the end of December, win instant prizes whenever you buy 30 Ghana cedis or more of Gino or Promo Tomato Mix, Gino Curry and Gino Max. Simply dial *844*99#. The code from your coupon followed by the hash key and follow the instructions to redeem your prizes like TVs, phones, blenders, cloth, airtime, and an opportunity to win our grand prize of a whole kitchen makeover. A whole kitchen makeover. Yes, and keep buying for a surprise visit from us.
No, Kululu.
Just buy, scratch, and win. And it's simple.
This advert is FDA approved.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Dear people, don't let sore throat and cough ruin your voice and your day. Put an end to them with Shautu lozenges. Shautu lozenges contains 5 natural active ingredients. Think natural. Think Shautu. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities of 1,000 cedis and upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. Call Quick Credit today, 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
I won 10,000 cedis. I played the direct 4-bet. I played Tuesday to win 10,000 cedis. And then it feels really nice because I've not really handled such an amount of money before. It has. So I urge everyone out there too. And you just do try. Maybe they'll be ever far. Yes, eventually ever far. Dewa, Ucha, Ubedi, Dewa, Afa.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Asiedu-Dartey, Biggie Big, double festive season, only at Electromat. Your favorite multi-brand electronics retail outlet is out again with Biggie Big deals this festive season. Asiedu-Dartey, free LED TV and voltage guard, free DSTV kit and subscription, 100,000 Ghana cedis worth of free beverage drinks and detergent, 100,000 Ghana cedis worth of free blenders, irons and ceiling fans. Buy any LG, Broom, Panasonic, Samsung, Sony, Infinix, Techno, Xiaomi electronic appliances or gadgets and enjoy Biggie Big double gift. Rush to any Electromat showroom now or call 0552 755 456 0540 101 377. Electromat, your world of electronics. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey there, do you want to win a brand new iPhone, a smart TV, a super cool refrigerator, free data, and many more spectacular weekly prizes? Or perhaps you just want to jet off to the dazzling city of Dubai? Then get ready for the Indomie Pack of Fortune promo. Here's a scoop. Just buy any pack of Indomie and find your unique code inside. Log on to www.indomieghana.com or dial *844*44# to participate and unleash amazing gifts right on your fingertips. Remember, the more you buy, the higher your chances of winning an all expenses paid journey to the vibrant city of Dubai. So hurry, grab your Indomie packs and win big with the Indomie Pack of Fortune promo. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie instant noodles taste great. This advert is FDA approved.
There is something that drives you. The very thought of it fuels you. And even when the road gets rocky, you keep going. Just to get the results that matter. It could be about you. It could be the lives you touch. It could be about something dear to your heart. Such results leave a sweet lingering smile, a sense of fulfillment. That's why you work till late, yet rise with the sun. Yes, your drive knows no limit. Do it with Stanbic Bank, where we spur you on to get the results that matter.
Welcome back to News 360 on TV3. We will be going to some other stories now, which has already generated some conversation in Parliament.
Saglemi housing projects, and parliamentarians are talking about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the housing project, very little has been heard from government on it. And during the twin disaster, the flood disaster, Kosombo and Pond Dam spillage, there were calls for government to reconsider moving those who had been rendered homeless to the Saglemi housing project. Very little has been heard about that. And
now some parliamentarians are saying that it should be given to the military to house them.
Okay.
We'll see how that plays out.
Let's dig into the specifics of the story now. And the minority in Parliament wants government to cede the Saglemi housing project of the Ghana Armed Forces to meet the accommodation needs of the military. Speaking during the budget approval process for the Ministry of Works and Housing, the Member of Parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, indicated that the project must be put to use before it ends up in ruins. And this comes on the back of similar calls that were made by some members of parliament and even civil society and the general public to ask government to house those that had been affected by the twin disaster in the Volta and Eastern regions when the dam was spilled. On the back of that, there seemed to be a different clarion call on government to reconsider giving the housing project to the Ghana Armed Forces. Let's listen to the conversations in Parliament.
Once touted as a mega housing project, the Saglemi housing project is the subject of litigation, with erstwhile officials mad with allegations of causing financial loss to the state. Speaking in Parliament during the budget approval process, Tamale South MP Haruna Idrisu called on government to put the project to good use.
Mr. Speaker, it's my considered view. I'm sure I've shared it with the minister before. This back and forth on Saglemi, declare it a dedicated facility for the armed forces of Ghana and ask them to go and complete it and live in it. You cannot invest over $200 million in a project. And today you are still telling us that there was financial loss presumptively, or there is financial loss today, when your military are struggling for houses around that area. That is state resources. Whilst you do other things you want to do, give us Saglemi housing to the Ghana Armed Forces.
The state housing company was also fingered for selling houses at prices above the reach of working-class Ghanaians. A budget of over 29 billion Ghana cedis was approved for the Ministry of Education, but not until Parliament rechanneled more funds into resourcing special needs education in Ghana.
Mr. Speaker, under 1 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to special education. Special education. Mr. Speaker, special education is something that we should take it quite serious as a country. Because, Mr. Speaker, clearly there are a number of special schools in the country. But unfortunately, this budget is allocating less than 1 million Ghana cedis for special education, inclusive and special education.
1 million. It's less than 1 million. I don't want to believe that is a typo error. I don't want to believe that. Speaker, and we have an allocation of some amount in excess of 100 million to non-formal education. Speaker, it used to be strong in the PNDC days. But respectfully, what do they do now?
Apart from the approval of the budget estimates, which is expected to continue on Wednesday, Parliament's Appointments Committee will also consider the nomination of 3 justices of the Court of Appeal who have been elevated to the Supreme Court. They will be vetted on Wednesday in Parliament. Duke Mentopoku, TV3 News, Parliament House, Accra.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for business, and Mr. Ogbodu is with us. Yeah. Right, so we are inching closer into 2024. It's going to be a very busy year politically, but on the banking and finance sector, what's the outlook like?
Well, post DDEP, looks like things are getting...
What's the DDEP again?
Domestic Debt Exchange Program.
The Debt Exchange Program?
Exactly.
Things are looking good for the banking sector?
It's getting better.
Okay, all right, give us details.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I'm Michael Obodu, and straight into our top story. Banking consultant Nanotue Champong has revealed that 19 banks in the country, which previously recorded losses due to the impact of the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, have now posted profits as at the third quarter of 2023. The positive turn is significant news for the sector, given the challenges faced by these banks due to the DDEP. This report has the details. The Domestic Debt Exchange Program, a prerequisite for Ghana securing an IMF bailout, significantly impacted banks in the country that had invested substantially in government instruments. However, about a year later, their fortunes seem to have improved.
Up to December, all the banks that exhibited losses in 2022 have now turned those losses into profits, which goes to underscore the argument that we kept making, that those losses were technical losses due to the incidence of IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard, that asks the treatment to be done. And so the banks are now showing losses. That doesn't mean that they were not affected capital-wise. There was an effect on their capital.
Banking consultant Nanotue Champong further elucidated the reasons behind the turnaround for these banks.
The unwinding of those technical losses, and if we extend it to the Bank of Ghana situation, the Bank of Ghana showed a very big abnormal loss. And the argument that we kept making was that it was a technical loss, which under normal circumstances should unwind. And therefore, those who were making so much argument that, they've collapsed the bank and so on, should now use this to understand that it wasn't a real loss, but it was a technical loss due to the application of the International Financial Reporting Standard.
The outlook for the 19 banks appear positive. However, the financial status of the remaining 4 banks is yet to be confirmed as their financials were not readily available at the time of the interview. Michael Obodu, 3 Business, Accra.
Now, Enterprise Insurance has launched its centenary anniversary, showcasing its legacy and ensuring the security of its clients' future.
Enterprise Insurance offers a range of business solutions, including motor and home insurance, personal accident, travel, marine and assets all risk, making it a trusted choice for generations.
For us to be able to still be in business for the past 100 years, it shows a lot of dedication and resilience on our past. And this is a legacy worth celebration. So as phenomenal as our past has been, it is important that the general public also benefit from the solutions that we offer.
The Managing Director, Akosua Ansa Enchi, announced several exciting activities for the centenary celebrations.
In the course of the year, a lot of the activities that we've earmarked will see us celebrating our customers who have made us who we are today. We also make sure that we embrace the communities that have served us.
Board member Comfort Okwan emphasized the company's commitment to ensuring the future of its clients.
We stand at the forefront of innovation, leveraging strategic partnerships and cutting-edge solutions to meet the ever-changing needs of our clients. The journey of Enterprise Insurance has become one of resilience, adaptability, and a commitment to excellence.
Enterprise Insurance has consistently been a leading provider of general insurance in Ghana, providing tailored solutions and unwavering peace of mind to individuals and businesses.
Now, away from that, the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, faces a potential crisis in the downstream sector, with industry experts warning of local business collapse over recent policies. Industry watchers fear the NPA's policies create an uneven playing field and stifling competition. This comes on the back of fuel transporters threatening a strike in protest as they demand answers from the regulator on the 300 tankers imported into the country by Centur, among other issues.
The regulator must sit down with them and then explain to them if they are taking actions or decisions may not be in the interest of the transporters, and they still know that is something they want to pursue. The excellent, the most sensible thing or credible thing is to have an in-depth discussion with them to iron out the differences.
The fuel transporters want the NPA to come clean on allowing a foreign company, Centur, to bring in over 300 bulk road vehicles into the country to cut fuel against the law. 3 business investigations show the company has transferred the ownership of the tankers to a Ghanaian. Benjamin Isia is the director at Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy.
The Ghanaian local transporters, you are collapsing their business. NPA has allowed the transfer of these vehicles from the expatriate to a Ghanaian, which is like a fronting. When we begin, NPA begins to allow these frontings. Can you imagine the number of expatriates who import vehicles and give it to local Ghanaians to collapse this industry?
An energy strategist and CEO of Eureka Energy Solutions, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, points out local businesses should be protected.
We all know our laws guard that sector, typical for the local folks. As much as we need foreign direct investment, some areas that are the preserve of the local space, they have to be guarded. It has not been nationalistic, but it is just championing the nation's growth and what we stand to gain.
Another issue the fuel transporters are raising is the MPA directing tanker owners to pay drivers through the authority.
MPA now becomes like a compensation or wage determinant institution. I think it's going to collapse the industry. The industry is partially regulated, and that is why MPA doesn't determine how much transported are expected to pay their drivers. It's between the drivers and the transporters. Transporters will begin to retrench some of their drivers because taking that huge sum of about 13% of what is due them will also add on certain cost elements to the transporters. In the long run, what I think is that the already collapsing transport industry within the petroleum downstream will collapse further.
Well, that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next is sports.
The luckiest star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest star 712 hash. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Doctors, nurses, barbers, drivers, bouncers, friends, teachers, bankers. You could be the luckiest. You could be the
Keep buying your luckiest ticket with star 712 hash as an individual, a group, an association, or even a community. And stand a chance of winning in the community draw or the ultimate draw on 23rd of December. Win millions on star 712 hash.
Not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Miss VIP Magnetic Perfumes.
Dear people, don't let sore throat and cough ruin your voice and your day. Put an end to them with Shautu lozenges. Shautu lozenges contains 5 natural active ingredients. Think natural. Think Shautu. This advert is FDA approved.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one on pass. Allow with tomato flavor no color changing like traffic lights. Come on.
Tasty Tom dear. It will surely give value for money. This steak, a little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste not so dear. On point. Flavor new.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Welcome back to News 360. Portia, you are excited.
It's not time for sport and Yahweh's already here. What's up with Mediama?
Mediama, they are looking to get back to winning ways after that draw against Yanga in Kumasi. And, you know, they're still on a really good wavelength, and they're just trying to win more games and potentially get into the quarterfinal. You know, it's been a really long time since any Ghanaian team has gotten into the quarterfinal. Yeah, exactly. So they're looking to do that for the first time in many years.
And should we, the football lovers or sports lovers, expect many more sporting activities during the festive period? Because we know, like in in the English Premier League, there are games. How
So,
about Ghana?
So in the Ghana Premier League, I don't think that they have any breaks. This weekend, Hearts take on Olympics. There will be matches next weekend as well. And then also the Black Stars will begin camp in just about a few weeks, just before the AFCON starts. And so it's packed.
Some activities during the period. All right.
Let's get into the sports news this evening now, and to our first story. The Ghana Football Association, in their pursuit to develop football, have signed a new partnership to boost Colts football in the country. We have more details for you in this report.
One of the key areas the current Ghana Football Association has focused on during their tenure is Colts football. In an attempt to revive Colts football, the KGL Foundation Inter-Regional Colts Championships was launched and has been running in the past year. Through the FIFA Forward initiative, the Ghana Football Association has allocated $100,000 for footballs for Colts clubs. In a recent move to keep on improving Colts football, the Ghana Football Association has partnered with Techno to help young footballers develop their skills and passion.
A relationship that hopefully will take us very far. A relationship that will be mutually beneficial. In our world of football, technology is key. And if you want to deliver football on the run or on the go, you need technology. You need mobile phones. Since in our part of the world, there's high consumption of mobile phones by the youth. So this is a very big step for the Football Association, and I'm sure it is the same for Techno.
Colts football has been the source of a number of talent for Ghana over the years, and is the hope of many that same will be said in a few years to come.
Well, let's get into some more stories now. And despite currently sitting in second position in Group D of the CAF Champions League, Mediama head coach Asiedu-Dartey admits his outfits could have done better. The Ghana Premier League champions traveled to Tanzania on Wednesday to face the young Africans, knowing a win will give them a massive qualification boost.
Mediama 4 out of 9 points from 3 games of the side. And on the other hand, Yanga also 2 points behind me from 3 games. Speaks of how Yanga is determined to match us come tomorrow. I need to be cautious. I need to map a strategy that will help Mediama to stay out of.
Right, you heard that from Augustine Asiedu-Dartey, who's coach of Mediama SC Football Club. Now, Mediama themselves are broken even. 1 win, 1 loss and 1 draw in the CAF Champions League so far. 4 points and they sit second. Now, head coach of Dreams FC, Karim Zito, has revealed his team is working on improving their defense ahead of their March Day 4 game against Academica in the CAF Confederations Cup on Wednesday. They still believe boys have 6 points so far, but have a goal difference of 0 after conceding 5 goals from 3 games.
So when you look at the way we are being scored, I would say it's about lack of experience. I'm doing everything possible to make sure that this thing won't happen. So, like the way we played against Kotoko, I don't know whether you notice what has happened with our defense. We play safe and they don't take risk. And they stick to that principle of play in defense.
Right, so that's Dreams FC coach there, Karim Zito. Now, Dreams themselves also have 6 points, boasted by that impressive win in Angola. And they are taking Academica on later on this week with also an opportunity to move on to 9 points and to put some massive qualification into it as well. Now, let's head into the English Premier League, where Mauricio Pochettino doesn't think Christopher Nkunku will suddenly change Chelsea's fortunes and admits the Frenchman will need time to catch up. Nkunku joined Chelsea from RB Leipzig in the summer and is in line to make his debut against Newcastle United tonight in the Carabao Cup semi-final.
My worry is to put too much pressure on him and to say, oh, now he's arrived, you know, the the guy that is going to make us to win every single. If that is going to be like this, because he now need time to recover his feeling. Hope that the star maybe tomorrow play and score 3 goals, but and then be consistent. But the most important thing is not to create too many pressure on him, because he need to find himself, feel the competition, and then to adapt.
Well, that's Mauricio Pochettino there, who's Chelsea's boss. Chelsea take on Newcastle United in just about a few minutes. It's at 8 p.m. tonight, and so you might want to catch that game as part of your evening routine. My name is Yao Fosulabi. That's all the sports news evening here on News 360.
The canker of teenage pregnancy remains a threat to girls' education and empowerment. In fishing communities, poverty exposes vulnerable girls to predators who use fish as bait to attract teenage girls. TV3 throws a searchlight on cases of sexual exploitation as some fish folks lure girls with fish in exchange for sex. Join us on Wednesday, December 20, as we raise awareness about how some teenagers are bearing the brunt of sexual exploitation.
Who are those getting the girls pregnant? These are elderly men living in our communities.
This
documentary is funded by the US aid from the American people. Book a date on Wednesday, December 20 at 9 p.m.
Christmas is here. The season of love, cheer, and giving. You deserve an unforgettable treat this Christmas. You deserve great viewing pleasure. Be entertained on TV3 this Christmas season. Experience an unforgettable viewing experience with movies, series, dramas, reality shows, entertainment shows, talk shows, and so much more. Stay with TV3, the station that keeps giving this Christmas.
So when you see someone,
and experience great viewing pleasure. There will never be a dull moment with us. TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, Lifestyled, Vodafone, Further Together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome back to News 360, and Anita is with us. Hello, Anita.
Hi, Martin. Hi, Portia.
So, I mean, beyond what we serve our viewers,
yes,
we also are trying to get a group of people to understand the nuances of media production, right?
Exactly. I mean, it looks all beautiful on TV, but a lot of work goes into it, and so we're trying to impact the next generation as well.
Maybe one day we'll just turn the camera so people get to see what's happening in the background. But you give us a story.
Of course, let's get into it. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and at Desa Production Limited, the production unit of Media General has held a masterclass for aspiring TV presenters to equip them with industry insights and help level up their confidence and presentation skills. And after the 3-day knowledge gathering session, participants expressed appreciation to facilitators for the eye-opening experience and for exposing them to key industry insights.
Let me just let you know this. My first degree is not in journalism, just to burst your bubbles. It starts with the passion. Whatever program you want to do or what you want to do in journalism must be informed by the passion. Your passion defines your purpose, and then your purpose then directs your effort. Then your effort would help you get results.
Powered by Adisa Productions Limited, APL, Ghana's leading media production company, the 3-day masterclass allowed for a much more in-depth understanding of industry practices and present participants with an exciting learning experience. The sessions were led by the adept General Manager of 3 Group and APL, Apefa Mfojo, and other seasoned resource persons who enlightened participants on the different aspects of television and radio presentation. Over 40 participants were schooled on the process of production, personal styling, branding, communication, writing, social impact, journalism, radio presentation, ethics and professionalism in the media space. At the end of the 3-day masterclass, hands-on experience was given to participants, mirroring the conditions of a professional setting. The masterclass proved to be an enriching experience for the participants.
We're excited to be a part of this program. Today's session was very informative.
Learning and relearning, comparing notes. This has been something that is, I call, indelible, because facilitators were just brilliant. From Belamundi to Alfredo Kanse to William Asiedu. It is just a learning experience. I wish it never ends.
It was indeed a great learning experience. And away from that, Associate Professor at the Institute of African Studies, Asiedu-Dartey, says the African culture is unique and called on all to accept and embrace it. Speaking at the Institute's 60th anniversary, she mentioned how proud she is, having witnessed the tremendous role the Institute has played in promoting the African culture. For decades, the Institute of African Studies has nurtured a number of distinguished Ghanaian scholars, cultural ambassadors, composers, and playwrights. The Institute and the Ghana Dance Ensemble have also been at the forefront of advancing knowledge, fostering cultural understanding, and promoting the rich heritage of global Africa.
The Institute of African Studies is a place where the academic study of music, dance, and literature took its roots for Ghana and Africa.
It's been 60 years of promoting the rich cultural heritage and showcasing the dynamism and beauty of traditions through captivating performances. Having witnessed the growth and impact of the Institute and the Ghana Dance Ensemble, Associate Professor Asiedu-Dartey underscored the need to know and believe in our culture.
You know, the journey over 60 years has been one of the inception and development of a national arts movement. I feel very privileged to have been, as it were, a fly on the wall, watching all this develop, and then later on, as I advanced in my career, trying to make a contribution as a critic and as somebody who believes that our culture is something that we should know and understand, and that is what makes us unique around the world.
That'll be all for the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ekufu. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Anita. Coming up, international news.
Right.
At least 250,000 people have fled fighting in the Sudanese states once seen as a safe haven for those escaping the civil war, the UN said. The paramilitary rapid support forces have advanced into the city of Wad Wadani in Al Jazeera state. For months, both the state and the city have housed large numbers seeking safety from fighting in the capital. Many in Wad Madani have fled the city without having anywhere to go, a resident told the BBC. So many people are wondering there's no transportation, nothing to take us. Many people do not know where to go. They are just running away. Ahmed Fadil, who moved to Wad Madani from the capital Khartoum after the conflicts began, said, as people have been leaving the city over the past few days, the cost of transport has climbed. On Tuesday, no transport was available at all.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
I am Portia Gabor. Have a lovely evening.